Good morning students. Today we will start class 10th subject history, chapter 1, the rise of nationalism in Europe, part 4, the making of Germany and Italy. Contents are introduction, unification of Germany, unification of Italy, the strange case of Britain. Introduction. After 1848, nationalism in Europe moved away from its association with democracy and revolution. Nationalist sentiments were often mobilized by conservatives for promoting state power and achieving political domination over Europe. Unification of Germany. Liberal initiatives to nation building was however repressed by the combined forces of the monarchy and the military supported by the large landowners called Junkers of Prussia. Prussia took on the leadership of the movement for national unification. Its chief minister Otto von Bismarck planned how to do war with the help of Prussia army and bureaucracy. They did 3 wars over 7 years with Austria, Denmark and France, ended in Prussia victory and completed the process of unification. Kaiser William I was proclaimed as the Emperor of Germany. Second, unification of Italy. Italy was divided into 7 states, of which only one, Sardinia Piedmont, was ruled by an Italian princely house. Its ruler, King Victor Emmanuel II, unify the Italian states through war. Chief Minister Count Camillo di Cavour led the movement to unite the regions of Italy, was neither a revolutionary nor a democrat. Like many other wealthy and educated members of the Italian elite, he spoke French language much better than he spoke Italian. Through a tactful diplomatic alliance with France engineered by Cavour, Sardinia Piedmont succeeded in defeating the Austrian forces in 1859. Apart from regular troops, a large number of armed volunteers under the leadership of Joseph Garibaldi joined the fray. Here, fray means battle. They marched into South Italy and the kingdom of the Two Sicilies and succeeded in winning the support of the local peasants in order to drive out the Spanish ruler. Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed King of United Italy. The strange case of Britain. In Britain, the formation of the nation state was not the result of sudden upheaval or revolution. It was the result of a long drawn out process. There was no British nation prior to the 18th century. The primary identities of the people who inhabited the British Isles were ethnic ones, such as English, Wales, Scottish and Irish. All of these ethnic groups had their own cultural and political traditions, but as the English nation steadily grew in wealth, importance and power, it was able to extend its influence over the other nations of the island. Scotland. The Act of Union 1707 between England and Scotland resulted in the formation of the United Kingdom of Great Britain, meant in effect that England was able to impose its influence on Scotland. The growth of a British identity meant that Scotland's distinctive culture and political institution was systematically suppressed. The Catholic clans that inhabited the Scottish Highlands suffered terrible repression whenever they attempted to assert their independence. The Scottish Highlanders were forbidden to speak their Gaelic language or wear their national dress. Large numbers were forcibly driven out of their homeland. Ireland. Ireland suffered a similar fate. It was a country deeply divided between Catholics and Protestants. The English helped the Protestants of Ireland. They established their dominance largely on Catholic country. Catholics' revolts against British dominance were suppressed. After a failed revolt, led by Wolfe Tone and his United Irishmen. In 1798, Ireland was possibly incorporated into the United Kingdom in 1801. A new British nation was forged through the propagation of a dominant English culture. The symbols of the New Britain, the British flag known as Union Jack, the national anthem known as God Save Our Noble King, the English language were actively promoted, and the older nations survived only as subordinate. Thank you.